Rock Solid Foundation, we build hope for kids with cancer. We provide ready bags to families when their child is first diagnosed, and we surprise them with play sets in their backyards. We do this to let them know they're not alone, and to allow their kids to escape the cancer world and do what they do best, play. Over the past 10 years, we've impacted thousands of families, and we're just getting started. But we can't do it without you. To help us kick off our 10th anniversary, we're asking Rock Solid supporters to donate $10 a month. That's it, just $10. It's not much, the cost of 2 fancy cups of coffee or a lunch out. But what if you did it, and then asked a few friends to do it, and then they asked a few friends to do it? Think about the impact that could have. We believe it's the formula for play. Learn more at rocksolidfoundation.org.
Welcome back, everybody. We are so excited. It's actually evening here at the Harbor Club in Waterside, and we have gotten to enjoy a little bit of, live music.
Live music.
Pretty
people.
cool.
We're super excited about it.
Yep, and that's going along with what's still happening with all of our amazing telethoners that are contacting their friends and family and also people who have expressed an interest in Rock Solid, and they are just going through and they are crushing it. They're having a blast. They are spreading awareness and helping build hope through the formula for play. So coming up this hour, it's all about leadership. We have an amazing group of individuals every year that have gone through our Launchpad Leader program. And earlier this year, you're going to get to see a video from them and during that program. We'll also be talking to our good friend, Michael Brusicki from Community Church, all about leadership. And we are excited about this hour. We know that this is going to be powerful for you, a focus on being the best leader you can be where you are right now, and some programs that Rock Solid has done around leadership.
Absolutely. I tell you, I promise you that the next little bit, and I know that you hear the background music behind us, but we are super excited. They have a concert going on out there that they're doing some sound checks for us, and we are super excited about what's to come. And I think that the music, I don't know if the music really fits the attire. So what are we going for right here? What are we thinking?
So I think that leadership is like the golden ticket of life.
How long did it take you to think about that? Did you just see that jacket and poof, you had that, or?
No. I didn't have a plan for why I wore the golden jacket, but I decided it was like the golden ticket. Because
what is a golden ticket?
The golden
what are we talking
ticket,
about?
like in Willy Wonka.
Okay, so I'm with you. It's blinding me with the lights. It's amazing. I mean, it's
so
flossy.
Listen,
it's flossy.
I am so bright, right? I can't help it. Even you need shades.
I feel like you could do a mic drop right now. That was actually really good. Along with that amazing comment that she just said, and I hope that you tweeted that, it was well done. Like, I feel like you made it happen.
I'm trying.
So we got another one, guys.
That's right. Ring that bell.
We are having people that are donating constantly. And remember, we've said it all day, keeping the main thing the main thing. And it's the essential element is play. And with that, we're celebrating. We're kicking off our 10th year. We're looking for 10 people to give $10 a month. And I promise you, with that formula of play, we've been able to raise well over $15,000.
Amazing.
And we have about another hour and a half, a little bit more, that we're going to be able to just give it everything we have. And the best is going to be happening now.
Yes.
And we are super excited. I'm getting even more pumped the more that this music plays.
I mean,
it's hard to sit down.
I know. I was like, I want to sit down and get
down.
excited.
I'm not going to dance, though. I won't dance because I showed the floss.
I mean, we are flossy, but we can't really floss. So this hour, we're giving away a Rock Solid backpack with 2 awesome shirts, 2 of our brand new coffee mugs right here. They are sweet coffee mugs that we have been pumping ourselves full of delicious caffeine for about 12 hours at this point.
It is going on, 12 hours sounds very accurate right now.
Yeah.
It's all worth it. We've had an amazing day, and with the challenges that we faced here, is nothing in comparison to what our families have to face on a day in and day out. And we have not, not stopped. You guys on social media have not stopped. Y'all have been sharing everything that you're seeing. Please don't give up on us yet. We have a lot of stuff, and I really believe this next segment that the takeaways from here is going to be absolutely amazing. That won't just help you, won't just help Rock Solid, but it will help you in the future with your life, with your family. There are a lot of principles here. This guy that's coming, he has been dripping wisdom for me and this foundation. He's been speaking life into this, and I'm super pumped that you get to hear from him coming up. And
I mean, I'm going to be taking notes over on the side on my phone because I'm that excited about it. Yep. And for me, I really do believe, even though y'all can laugh at me, but like leadership is the golden ticket. It is like the butter on bread. It is like what makes you, better.
This right now?
Mean, you know what's happening? It's been a long day. And I will say, Eric is someone that, for me, a lot of times, not drops one-liners like that are cheesy, but legitimate wisdom that he says stuff to me, cheesy and bread. We are starving. No,
I'm pretty hungry.
And so that to me is invaluable to be around someone that is that kind of leader. So that's why I'm so excited for these two men to just speak into us and we can learn from them. So let's go ahead with our giveaway. What we're going to be doing is that we're going to ask you a question as we have been, and we're going to choose one lucky commenter to get the Rock Solid swag bag at the end of this hour.
Boom.
And that is when we donate not 10, but 20.
What are we doing?
I'm saying 20 monthly donors.
20 monthly donors.
When we get 20 reoccurring monthly donors, we are going to draw a winner, and we're also going to have, I don't even want to.
Did we even ask the question yet? I feel like we've just been dancing. Okay.
We're going to have a hula hoop contest, and Eric is going to win the hula hoop contest because I might watch him do it, or we'll both do it. We'll see what'll happen. It's fair.
The question is
question is, Rock Solid was recently featured in grocery stores in a dozen states across the country. What brand of products was Rock Solid featured on?
See, I always want to answer that, but I know that I can't answer it. I won't give it away. Listen, guys, we're encroaching into the final hour of this telethon, the final couple of hours, and I'm telling you, we still are believing. We're at above 15,000 right now, but I believe that someone's out there watching right now that has the capacity to give $100, $10, $20, even $5,000, and it's not about building a logo.
Nope.
It has nothing to do with that. It has to be able to drop in at the worst moment of a human's life when their child is diagnosed with cancer, and you're able to give these ready bags to them on the worst day of their life. I'm telling you, that's what we're doing it for, and our telethoners, the people that have been calling, have been killing it this year and today, and I'm excited to see at the end of this when we're able to announce the final total.
Yep. So now we're going to kick off a video all about our Launchpad Leader program, and this is actually our practice interviews video.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, go check it out.
Rock Solid Foundation, it's an organization that helps kids and families dealing with pediatric cancer.
We give them an opportunity to take a day away from their battles and their ultimately just terrible situations and take that pain away and build hope for them when they come home.
We send the kids off on a day that they won't forget, and when they do come back, we do a reveal of the playset and the backyard, everything that all these volunteers have done for the family to help build hope for this child, and that's what we do.
When a child has cancer, everything gets stripped away from them completely. And I would say for a play set, they don't have that option to go to school and play with kids or go to playgrounds and play with kids. So they bring the play set to them at their own personal home to keep all the germs and everything away.
From my standpoint, being a cancer dad, it gives these kids and families a safe place to play. They can't go out to a public park and just have a good time and play with their kids, but they can go in their backyard where they can control their environment.
We have a hashtag at Rock Solid. It's hashtag what hope looks like. And when this little girl comes back on her limo ride with her family, and she comes out of that limo and comes around the corner and sees her brand new playset, that look in her eyes is what hope looks like.
And basically the whole basis of Rock Solid Foundation is play. They know that kids, they love to play, and when they're facing a life-threatening illness like cancer, play kind of goes away. So they're instilling that play base back into the child's life.
These kids get stripped the power of play when they get sick, and it just brings back that hope and that play to those kids and that family.
The whole premise behind it is to serve and love on the family. That way they have that moment of hope and the ability just to smile and play that day.
Specifically designed to give happiness and hope to the kids, so that they have like that moment where they don't have to worry about all the rest of the stresses that are going on with their family.
After your first experience doing it, it's never the same. And you know, just what you do for the family, what you do for that child is just amazing, and you won't forget it.
For me, it's just knowing that I'm able to share myself with other people and feel that I'm doing something for somebody besides myself.
It's really awesome. I mean, it's amazing to be a part of such a group that's so caring and that's so selfless. And what's really amazing is that we're making a difference in these people's lives every single weekend that we're out there, and it's really touching.
We do it to build hope. So it is not just for the kids, but everybody involved, the families, and knowing that they're not alone on this journey.
So Launchpad Leader is a program that we've brought in a group of volunteers and people that want to be a part of Rock Solid Foundation, and we're giving them tools that they can use to go out and help build hope for kids on the play sets and in their everyday life. Tools that will help them on their job, will help them in situations that they face on a day-to-day basis.
And basically what it's doing is it's helping us to become better leaders for these families, better leaders for each other, for our families. Because when we have good leaders, we have people that make impact on people's lives. And that's really what it's all about.
The Launchpad Leader is a leader that is willing to grow themselves. And with this class, we're able to give them the skills and resources to not only be a build leader on the build sites, but in their own community and in their families.
I don't know how this is going to go. You can dog me. You can dog me. Brusecki. You're going to say it right. It's going to be amazing. Hey, guys, we are live. And did you just hear that? My man was speaking life over me already. Because
so good.
It is so good. I got his name wrong in the last segment, and I've known this guy, and you've been a huge investor in myself, in my family. You actually married my wife and I, and it was pretty comical how we met.
It was.
I got Michael Brusecki.
Come on, you said it right.
Did I say it right?
You rocked it.
Come on, man. Let's do it.
Great job.
I have this man. He has been an influential leader in my life. Not just my life, but thousands of people. Him and his wife, Megan, have been called to Hampton Roads to really love and serve this community. And that's what we've been saying all day is loving and serving this community. And this is the man behind the scene that has invested into me, that has invested into my wife, and the team that we have. Honestly, Michael, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
You and your Megan are absolutely mean the world to Annalisa and I and this foundation. So tell a little bit about how we met, and we got plenty of time, man. So we're in good shape.
Yeah, well, we love you guys. We love Rock Solid. I love you and Annie. You mean so much to us as well. And I love how we met because I was new to the area.
Brand new.
There's this guy in our church. This will be good for all of you to know. There's this guy in our church, and he basically facilitates almost, if you will, a date for Eric and I.
It was very romantic. It was.
At the place he works. Can we say like where it was?
Yeah,
So at Town Bank, he sets us up to go have lunch in the employee cafeteria, in the employee restaurant lunchroom, and he sets us up. We don't know each other.
Yep.
Then he just leaves.
Yes.
And we're sitting there, number one, going, is it allowed? Like, are we getting kicked out of this place because we don't work here? Order anything you want off the menu. And I guess a ferry showed up and paid for it. I don't really know.
I believe it was Greg, so I think that he did cover it.
Yeah,
which
and
was
you know
great.
what I remember, too? Like, you had your sunglasses on, and I feel like I told you you needed to take your sunglasses down so I could look into your eyes.
Into my eyes.
That's right.
And there may have been some romantic music going.
I'm thinking about that right now. That was weird.
And it was a weird. It's just amazing how like God really works, and just how He's had the hand in this. And and same thing with you. You lead by faith.
Yeah.
You and your family are based off it, and so do I. And Annalisa and I have been doing it. We've been chasing this as hard as we can. So how we met is pretty comical. But again, we both, I believe that there's no such thing as coincidences. Yeah. So we'll go this way. How is the relationship from the very beginning to when we first met to where you've seen Rock Solid Foundation start and where we are now? How has that relationship grown, and how have you been able to get the people that you lead, the church, community church, how have you been able to get them involved, and really just what does it mean for you as a leader seeing what Rock Solid Foundation is doing in the community.
Yeah, well, I think one of the most important things as a leader, especially when you lead people, is to find ways to help the people that you lead connect to help others. Right. And one of the worst things a leader can do is think they have to know how to do everything the best. And so for us as a church, we want to know we're partnered with an organization that's in the community that's making a difference in a positive way. And that's what Rock Solid quickly became when our relationship started and I learned about what Rock Solid was doing. And so for us as a church, I'm able to say, hey, we as a church give financially. We as a church have, I would say, probably hundreds of people that are a part of our church that serve with Rock Solid also. Right. And it's been a great relationship because the church isn't in the business of building hope for kids with cancer practically like Rock Solid is, if you will, in the community. And it's a way for us to get on the ground. It's a way for us to be in neighborhoods and to be in the lives of families, to build relationships and make connections.
Right.
And it's faith all across the board, like you said. So people who lead at Rock Solid are learning skills that help them lead in our church. People lead in our church are learning skills that help them lead and serve with Rock Solid. And so it's really been a good example of how the two organizations complement each other.
So with that, and we've talked a little bit about leadership, and this is what this whole segment is dedicated for. Could you sum up leadership in one word? Or, like, I know that's very hard because this, I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, just teaching and talking about leadership. So what does, let's rephrase this, what does leadership mean to you?
No is the answer.
No, exactly. The better you can learn to say no, the better you are as a leader. But what does leadership mean to you, and why is it so important?
Yeah. So I'm gonna use a John Maxwell quote that many leaders have heard, where Maxwell said, "Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less." And I would never contradict a great leadership guru like John Maxwell.
I feel like he would just show up.
Yeah. So I will tell you what I've been learning about leadership. Because I think we're living in a moment of time when leadership has to look different in 2018.
That's good.
And I think that for me, what I'm realizing about leadership is the best leaders are going to be the men and women who say, I'm going to live a life of being unoffendable. Because when you are a leader, you are going to have people, you're going to have organizations, you're going to have things happen in your life nonstop that you're going to want to get mad about, that you're going to feel justified in saying it's not okay what they did. And whether it was or not isn't the issue. What you do with that is what's going to matter. And let's face it, Eric, you and I both know this. We talk about this. Man, we live in a time in history when people just, in the social media world, people can say and do whatever they want.
At a moment.
At a moment. Everybody's voice can be heard. The leaders are those who are able to stay focused, to stay in what they know they're supposed to do. For me, to stay in what I know God's supposed to do. And so I think leadership today, one of the biggest things I'm learning is modeling an unoffendable life. Knowing I don't get it right all the time.
So, and it's funny that you say, like, offense is a choice.
Totally.
Like, we have a choice, especially, and it's so easy for us to voice our opinion now, which is great. You used to have to go to all of these classes, all of this school, but now with the click of a button, we're able to have influence at a moment's notice. And when people say something that offends you, in that moment right there, it's a choice.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah. You can't help what other people say. And being a leader, that's one thing that I think that you can vouch on too is at a moment's notice, you have people that love you at the same time, and then you have your haters, like Taylor Swift. Haters going to hate.
They're going to hate. We
She's a
should
deep
probably break
theologian.
into
Have you
song.
ever heard of her? Exactly.
I did sing that during service one time. It was epic.
Can you do it?
I don't know.
Okay.
The band needs to fire back up.
Okay, yeah. So they're actually being very quiet. But haters are going to hate. And so walk me through that, just navigating leadership, because as a faith-based leader, I pray for influence.
Right.
And the more, and I forget who said it, we've gone to a lot of conferences, and a lot of leaders think that it is just sitting in a couch with a microphone. They think that's leadership.
Yeah.
So what's your take on it? Like, what if you could give an advice to someone that's just starting? We have a lot of different generations in Rock Solid.
Sure.
Someone that has just heard of this word leadership before. It's not really what the public says that leadership is. So camp out on that for a little bit.
Sure. So I think one of the things where we'll get caught up is if you want to be a leader, you'll say, I want to be in leadership or I want to lead. And the fallacy is that we start to think leadership's about me when leadership is about others. And I have to make sure that if I'm going to grow, if I'm going to become a leader, and if I'm going to grow in leadership, I have to expand my bandwidth from the perspective of it's not about me. I need to learn, but I've got to keep this nonstop focus on others. And I think the people we see who grow in influence and grow in leadership the most, whether it be within an organization or as that expands, are the people who are willing to say, hey, I'm not going to be super focused on me. I know if I actually help people and make people the focus, my leadership will grow, it will expand. And, you know, at our church, we have a value. It's called growing means changing. And we talk a lot about the fact that we can't stay the same. And the best leaders are the people who are willing to say, hey, I have to make sure I am growing.
Right.
And even in our relationship, and, you know, Eric and I have these conversations and have for years, we are encouraging each other. We are telling each other where we're not doing something right, or
those are the good conversations.
Right? They're fun, but they hurt.
They do.
But you know, I wonder how many people and how many leaders are willing to open themselves up to that. So I think that's really important. I think that it's important in understanding leadership that you have to be willing to follow. So sometimes you want followers, but you're not willing to follow a leader.
Wow.
And I think that
really
it's
good.
so important for Rock Solid. You know what I mean? You're a great leader, and you have leaders under you, but everybody's got to follow their leader so that we can all go the same direction.
Yep. And I think that brings up a good point, too, like leadership. And, I don't know where I've heard this, so I'm probably quoting someone. I've never seen anyone get qualified for leadership in the spotlight. And that's the part.
True.
So light, what it does, it exposes, right?
Right.
And so as leaders, you think if you're just starting on this leadership journey, and that's why Launchpad Leaders so important to like building hope for kids with cancer. But when you start this journey of leadership, it's not with the microphone. I think you've told me this before, that leadership is done off-site. What is it? What you do behind the scenes qualifies you to be in front of the scenes.
Right.
So tell me, what does that mean? What does that look like?
You don't get qualified on the stage. You don't get you don't get prepared on the stage. It's so important that we understand. I'll say things like this to people sometimes in my world, right? Preaching, that getting the microphone and speaking on a weekend, that is like the what do they call it? The icing on the cake, right? It's the topping of the ice cream. That's the best, the most exciting.
It's the
part.
highlight reel from ESPN, like da-da-da. Like there's so many athletic events going on. And it's a highlight reel.
And so it's working in the grind. It's during the week. I think about that today in this moment. So right now we're sitting here talking with these microphones, right? Those of you that are watching, this is the highlight right now in this moment, even for you. The craziness is conversations we had leading up to today.
Right.
Your team's been working so hard and just crushing it and going. But there's all these things that have to happen so that this little highlight moment right now, that people go, wow, that was so great. Well, we have to put the hard work in.
Right.
I had a guy that worked for me as a youth pastor about 10 years ago, and he quit after I think 2 months because he said to me, I thought all I was going to do was get to preach to the students and hang out. And he goes, and you're asking me to get here early and set up chairs,
stack chairs. That's where I remember that.
Yeah.
That it's like you think you're called to ministry or to do something amazing, but if you're not willing to stack chairs, then maybe you need to reconsider what you're thinking about, because it's the stuff behind the scenes that truly makes a difference.
Yeah. If you're a leader, you pick trash up.
100%.
Like if you walk by trash and don't pick it up, I'm not sure you're a leader.
Well, also, like, as a leader, you understand experiences, and experiences matter, and especially in your world, like, people come into, there's a lot of different churches, there's big buildings, everything. They come into the place where you and Megan call home, and they have and you've said it multiple times before, how fast does it take for someone to form a first opinion?
Oh, man, from a seconds-wise, I like that, I guess is what you would say. Right. I mean, we talk about it in our context of people have an opinion about our church before they ever get to the building. They have an opinion about our church as they're pulling into the parking lot, based on what does it look like, what does it feel like, what do the people think. And in my context, for what I do, why that's so important is that's an opinion people then have about Jesus. That's an opinion they have about God. And so for me as a faith leader, everything that I do and everything that our church does, it always represents Christ. And so whether you're, whatever world you're in, right, anybody who serves Rock Solid, you know, they're not just representing themselves. You're always representing up the line to wherever your organization stops, if you will.
And as a leader, too, it's not on my notes, but imagine that. I think that when people kind of start this journey and figuring out who they are as a leader, that they think that it's always going to be hunky-dory or a lot of lights, camera, and action, and there's never going to be any low moments. And it's honest to say that, and you know this, and you've helped coach me through it, the last year and a half of my life has been pretty hard with everything on the outside world that is looking great. Rock Solid's doing really well. But sometimes leadership is it's an intimate thing that you have to walk through some pretty challenging moments. And you just wrote a book, Flip the Script, and it came out, and you led the church. You and Megan led the church through the series. And it was about a moment that just like, it really resonated with me. It was right on time because it really helped flip the script to get me to the next level. Why is it so important for leaders, I think, to go through the hard times? And does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's extremely important for someone watching to tell them why it's so important.
So I think most we're trained to get out of difficulty. We're trained as people like to avoid the difficult, broken, painful moments. And most people, even that I know, they will just change. They'll change a church, they'll change an organization they support, they'll change a job rather than actually push in a moment of difficulty. And people who are going to grow in leadership are going to be the people who are actually willing, when it gets difficult, to not exit, to not go, I need to change something external.
Oh, that's good.
Instead, I actually need to address the internal struggle.
Yep.
And I'm so wired. We're all so wired to have external success. Because you don't know that I'm doing awesome on the inside. You can only see what's going on the outside of my life.
Right.
It's true for everybody else. The best leaders are going to be the ones, and I'm not there. This is what I recognize as what I want to become. Are going to be the ones that are like, I need to make sure internally that I'm healthy. I need to make sure that I have like soul care, soul health, and then I do the work to do that. Which is just like what you said. Things can be going great on the outside, but that will wear you out and kill you. I mean,
Absolutely.
How many people do we know? How many people do you know? We go movie stars, we go athletes, we could go down the list, right? They've died of overdoses. They've been by themselves when that happens.
Right.
So like they've been in these horrible scenarios and situations because the outside was awesome, but they didn't think about the inside. And I think that we're able as leaders to go to a whole new level when we take the time to work on the inside. But that inside time, it's not sexy.
It is. So it's not sexy, nor is it fun, because you have to stop the hustle and bustle of everything as leaders. The higher you go in leadership, I would love to tell you that it's extremely simple, that you get to what I think people think that you and I just sit at coffee shops a lot, which we do. We have a lot of good time.
We do. I do drink a lot of coffee.
You drink a whole lot, and I'm still running on the coffee that I've had. But I think a lot of people think the higher you go in leadership, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
And that higher in leadership, I don't even know if that's the right way to describe it, but what I can say is that the deeper you go into leadership, sometimes the more lonelier it can become, but if you learn to check the internal side first.
Here's what it is. Just thought. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you or anything like that.
Good thing I didn't
It
have
made me
reflex
think about leadership in this way and what we're talking about right now. Leadership is being able to carry more weight. And so we do a lot of tasks and we'll say we're busy.
Right.
So as you get higher in leadership, just like what you're saying, we do less task. Like you and I do less task. In 10 years, I should still do less task, but I'm carrying more weight. Because as my church grows in influence, as my church grows in people who are putting their faith in Jesus, there's more people, there's more things going on. I as the senior leader carry that weight. And that's why it can kill you on the inside. And that's the cost of leadership, and that's what you cannot see until you're doing it.
That is so good, man. And so we gotta wrap it up. 17 minutes has gone by fast. We could do hours and hours of this thing. So you've been hosting the Night for the Fight for us the last couple of years.
Love it.
You also came and spoke at our Launchpad leadership class. You talked a little bit on public speaking, and I think you had some funny scenarios, but true scenarios that you need to double check. So if you had someone that's looking and trying to get into public speaking, or even just start speaking at their organization or giving presentations, what are a couple tips that you could give somebody?
Details matter. Details matter. They matter. They matter. They matter. People can smell your breath.
It's very true.
People can see the boogers that are hanging out of your nose. People can tell if your zipper's undone. Yep. Don't just show up and be yourself if yourself doesn't take care of yourself. And when you communicate, to me, one of the most important things is when you communicate is it's not about you, the communicator. It's about the person who is receiving from you.
Right.
And so if I keep that in mind, my goal when I communicate, and any communicator shouldn't be that they go, I love that guy.
Right.
My goal as a communicator is that people would get from me what they need.
Yep.
And there's always one that I'm thinking about.
And so
Always
that's the part. It's the power of one. And most leaders, when they get the microphone, they think that they should be speaking, me including, like you've helped me navigate all this too. You think that you should be speaking in front of thousands of people, but I truly believe that the power of one speaking to one person, and that's what it's about. It's the power of one that can truly make a huge difference and just influence in anything. And you mentioned something, the cost of leadership. And that's one thing. So the time is kind of closed up. Let me ask you one more question.
Okay.
As a successful community leader, you and your wife are leading a phenomenally successful church, not just from number standpoints, but you guys are just really leaning into the Hampton Roads area. You're launching campuses all over the place. If you could say one thing to a leader, and they're just starting this journey, what would it be? Again, like just anything. What would the one thing? And if you talk to the camera and talk to that one person, what would it be?
Yeah, I think. So I'm going to say this as a Christian, as a faith leader. So I hope that's okay.
It's good,
the
man.
one thing I would tell you as a leader is to seek God. And here's why I say that. Because we live in a moment when people think that if I can just meet the right person, we live in a moment when I think if I can just get the right connection, that'll solve all my problems. But that one connection will not last. I believe wholeheartedly as a leader, if you will focus on seeking God and his plan for your life, he'll make sure that you meet with the right people. He'll make sure that you're able to get connected and move up and grow in your leadership. Seek him is the most important thing you can do as a leader.
So good, man. So good. Guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg, really. Michael will be back this year. You're just going to commit right now to 2019 Launchpad Leadership. If leadership is exciting or interesting to you, we're going to have some links. We're going to be launching full throttle ahead with leadership development. We're going to be helping not just to build hope for kids with pediatric cancer, but our hope is that we can teach something that even if it resonates for one moment, that it's going to be something to help be a catalyst for you, your faith, and anything else that you've been called to do. We're really looking forward to it. And so I got to close. We have a phenomenal video, What Hope Looks Like. Michael, thank you so much. And I know I'm bouncing. I'm just honored for you to be just sitting right here with me. I love you. I love your 5 kids. You have a lot of kids.
I do.
You have a beautiful wife,
I'm
which
done.
all that makes sense right now. So
Yeah.
let's check out What Hope Looks Like video. And I'm just going, I did. We love you.
Mom and Dad, is it okay if I take Ainsley to the playroom while you guys talk with the doctor? Is that okay? Come on, let's go play with some toys, okay? While Mommy and Daddy talk to the doctor?
So the bone marrow results came back, and what they showed is basically that she does have leukemia. And what that means, basically, cancer of your white blood cells, and she would need to start chemotherapy and be admitted to the hospital tonight. I'm going to take you through each drug, each side effect, each treatment, and make sure that
This is one of the things that we do, are the ready bags. And, you know, they get this devastating news of what's going on with their child. But what's so great about this bag is as soon as the doctors walk out, the child life specialist walks in with this bag. A lot of times the parents are not able to leave the hospital. The child's admitted immediately. Mom, dad, both are going to have to stay overnight for several nights, sometimes several weeks. We bring them toiletries and coffee mugs and water jugs and pillows and blankets, and they just see that there's somebody out there that cares about them, that doesn't even know them, and it's going to help make that hospital stay just a little bit better.
is so much more than a play set to us, because being on the other side of this journey and seeing Olivia go through so much turmoil, I really feel like now it's like a fresh start, and it's amazing the courage that these children have. And thank you, Rock Solid, for recognizing that and for giving them something so amazing to appreciate and enjoy every day.
This whole thing has given us so much hope. The word hope has been redefined thanks to Rock Solid Foundation. Tomorrow seems like a really great thing.
I loved it. Wow, I was just amazed when I saw all of this.
Just really shows how much everyone cares.
It's going to give her that hope, you know, that she can just, I think she's going to lay in here and think of all the things that she can now do.
Whoever's watching or listening, thank you.
From the bottom of our hearts.
It means a lot, and I know it means a lot to Aaron too.
That was phenomenal. I loved learning from both of you more about leadership and just some things that really made me think and how I can implement them better as a leader. And I hope that you took notes and leaned in and also listened to what Eric said really at the end about how if you're a leader and you're seeking an opportunity, Rock Solid has an amazing way for you to partner with them and get those skills that you need as a leader to grow. And as any person, you are leading someone. So don't disregard this hour because you're like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, or I work in an office in a cubicle and no one reports to me. It's not true. It is a total lie. If leadership truly is influence, just as Michael said in the quote from John Maxwell, then you have to remember that you are out there influencing someone.
Even if it's one person, and that's the thing, as I know what I've walked through my leadership development, that one person, and I go back to like Billy Graham, and I read this somewhere that Billy Graham's Sunday school teacher gave it everything that she could to invest into him. And if you don't know who he is, he's a huge evangelist. He just recently passed away. That man changed hundreds of thousands of people's lives. But think about the Sunday school teacher. Think about that one person. So if you don't think that you're leading someone, I promise you that you're leading someone, and it's the power of one. And it's what we've been talking about. It's that one $10 a month donation. It's the essential element is play.
Yes.
And I'm going to say it again. I'll probably say it 30 more times. We're looking right now. We're kicking off our 10th year anniversary. We're trying to find 10 people right now in the last hour that we are looking to really raise some money. We are looking for 10 people to ask 10 people, I just said that twice, to give $10 a month. It's been a long day, but Ashley, you said something that, talking about the last 5 contacts in your context, challenge them. Man. We're in the final hour.
You know what? A lot of you guys are probably driving home from work, driving home from picking up your babies from daycare or sports practice, and here is my challenge for you. Pull out your cell phone, because for me, my cell phone tells a lot about my life. The past 5 people, the most recent 5 phone calls I made, either I answered incoming or I made outgoing, really.
Right.
Not ones that you didn't answer. Come on, folks. And then the past 5 text messages. Those people are the people that you probably are pretty tight-knit with, and you need to ask them to be part of this because it's something they get to do with you. And I'm going to challenge you even further on this to hopefully it'll make sense for some of you. If you personally are the only one in your family that gives to Rock Solid right now, and that could be your time, it could be what we're saying right now, that $10 a month, you need to ask your family to partner with you.
Right.
Your children, especially if you've grown children, your spouse, your parents, your cousins. I mean, guys, your family is not going to be offended by you asking them, hey, do you want to partner with me to build hope and really help change lives in the pediatric cancer world and beyond? Like, they're not going to be offended by your question.
And with $10 a month. That's it. And also, we have a great new opportunity with the Rock Solid Foundation, too. I skipped it on my cue card, but what we are doing now is we're selling Build Lead sponsorships, meaning asking for suggested donations. But organizations are able to come to partner with Rock Solid Foundation for us to teach leadership with you all, but then also give you avenues to be able to implement this leadership, give your community or give yourself a great opportunity to put your employees into the community to help love and serve and build hope for children with pediatric cancer. There'll be more links to come at the beginning of 2019 for that. We just got another one. Again, our telephones have still been ringing, 757-966-5500, and we're believing in big things this last hour.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and say we have another phenomenal report with our numbers, and I'm sorry if it's weird, but I just have to stand up.
No,
Like,
we can
so
stand.
excited
I think it's
to go
important.
ahead and share this. So the two numbers we're going to go ahead and share and celebrate right now are total donors for the day.
cow.
Our total donors for the day are 238 donors. Come on, guys.
Celebrate. Come
That's
on.
right.
Absolutely
because
amazing.
of you guys.
And she could not hide the total from me. I just looked at her cue card. We
You
are
can do
at,
it.
for the entire day, we are at $19,880. Come on, guys.
That means one donor doing $10 a month will put us right now to $20,000.
One donor, $20,000. It's not just
So
one
who
donor.
is it?
We have an hour left. You're out
Yes.
there right now, and you may have the capacity to give $1. The best donation I ever got was 84 cents, so we will take 84 cents. Also, $120 if you have the capacity to
Match
give
that.
$102,000, or if you have the opportunity right now for $19,000. If you want to
do it.
match $20,000, we can promise you that we're going to do whatever it takes to build hope for these kids with pediatric cancer. All right, it's the last hour. We are down. I know you're excited.
I am.
We are not running on empty. I feel like I just got even more
pretty
pumped
full.
seeing
I
that
know.
right there. I'm super excited.
I feel like we just started now.
Tell us what is about to happen.
So we have Dads and Kids Hour coming up, a really cool activity from the kids. We're going to have a Dads panel, happy hour style planned with Eric and some dads here that cannot wait to share with you. And guys, we'll also hear from some more of our telethoners and have one more hour of opportunity for you to tune in live. I want you to click like. I want you to share this.
Share,
I want you to
share,
get ready
share,
to share,
please.
share that last video. And guys, ask your past 5 contacts that you've recently talked to on your phone, text or call them. Do it now.
This past video, or this video that you're about to see, it is from a mama bear, Jessica Davenport. Her son, we were able to build hope for their family at build number 4. He was the first little boy that we ever built for, and that was hundreds and hundreds of play sets ago, and it just speaks to the magnitude of the cancer community. This was build 4, so it was about 9 years ago that this mama bear is still giving everything she has. And Jackson is doing amazing right now. She is still giving everything that she can to the pediatric cancer community, so you're not going to want to miss that from Mama Bear, Jessica Davenport, and we're going to have a couple beers with some amazing Rock Solid dads, and we're going to get intimate and real and raw with some amazing dads that are leading their household and fighting the hardest battle that they've ever faced in their life, and they were going to come out on the other side, and you're just going to hear some amazing testimonies. So super excited.
Yep. So we'll see you then.